we were talking about standing for the national anthem, or kneeling for the national anthem, or sitting for the national anthem, and how people are free to do whatever they want, and calling out people who say things like you should stand for the national anthem every time, but then don't do it in their homes. Claim they do, but you know that they don't. Anyway, enter this jamoke. We know you and your un-American Bigfoot wife don't. First, let's deal with the last part, then we'll deal with the middle part. Bigfoot? No. Hedgehog. She's a hedgehog. Come on, you guys got to get the insults right. Hedgehog. One of you ignorant fucks said she looked like a hedgehog a couple of years ago. And since then, I have been buying her hedgehog merch. She has a hedgehog t-shirt and a little hedgehog statue, a little statuette that sits on her desk, and other hedgehog paraphernalia. We're not switching up to Bigfoot now. She's a hedgehog. Get it right. Now, as far as the middle part, where you said your un-American Bigfoot wife. My friend, you have no idea how American that woman is. Truly, you have no idea. That woman was raised by a bunch of people who come from a long line of military service members. And she was raised in the VFW hall. Quite literally. Every single function her family has ever had, up until a certain point in time, was done at the VFW hall. The first time I met all of her family was at a party at the VFW hall. When somebody dies, it was the women in my wife's family that would come out of the woodwork to make the food for whoever it was at the VFW hall. So that when the funeral was done and they came back to the VFW hall to have that little luncheon that happens at the end of a funeral, it was my wife's grandmother and mom and aunts and cousins in there cooking up the food for no matter who it was, whether they knew them or not. Raised in the VFW hall. Has never sat or kneeled during a national anthem or Pledge of Allegiance once in her life. Except for the ones that you see on TV when you're home. Not only raised hardcore patriotic, living in the goddamn VFW hall all those years. Also raised like extremely pro-union. Extremely pro-union. Like, my wife's father, who has nothing to do with any of his kids or grandkids at this point in time. He's just some other fucking guy walking the streets at this point in time. But her father raised his kids to be extremely pro-union. If he ever heard that any one of his 3 daughters crossed a picket line, there would be fucking hell to pay back home. There would be hell to pay. He and his wife raise their kids to be patriotic, pro-union, support everybody Americans. As long as you go bust your ass, you got a place here in the United States of America. You might want to stick with me, Pumpkin. Renee is way out of your league.